Welcome to Immigration Quick Take. This is Ellie Rutledge with the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Recently, there has been some confusion on the eligibility of Venezuelan nationals seeking asylum due to recent events. Here to give us an overview of this issue is AILA member Dree Collopy, author of the 7th edition of AILA's Asylum Primer and an expert in asylum law. Dree, thanks for joining us. First off, how are the events in Venezuela affecting those seeking asylum here in the U.S.?
Unfortunately, over the past year following the death of President Hugo Chavez and the election of his successor, Nicolas Maduro, the conditions in Venezuela have been deteriorating into chaos, which has given rise to peaceful protests by the Venezuelan people. Unfortunately, the Maduro administration has responded trying to basically silence any dissent, either through silencing the press or use of force. And that has caused people to fear for their safety and flee. Many people have tried to join family members and friends who are already here in the United States in search of protection. But it's important for people to remember that even by leaving a country due to political unrest, no matter how tumultuous it is, it doesn't necessarily mean that they will be granted asylum or protection here in the United States. It also doesn't necessarily mean that people who are already here are entitled to any type of special recourse due to the events in Venezuela.
Has the U.S. granted special relief to Venezuelan nationals, and what are the qualifications for granting asylum?
There has been a lot of confusion about this. People are under the mistaken belief that there have been special immigration relief granted to Venezuelan nationals, but thus far to date there has been no special recourse granted. Congressman Joe Garcia from Florida has asked President Obama to halt deportations to Venezuela and also to process asylum applications more rapidly. He's also asked for the president to grant an immigration designation called Deferred Enforced Departure for Venezuelan nationals, but nothing to date has been granted. There's no special forms of relief at this time. Rather, Venezuelans who fear persecution in Venezuela must seek protection through asylum or some of the other procedures that are already available under our laws. Asylum can be very difficult to obtain. An individual has to show that they're unwilling and unable to return to their country of residence, so to Venezuela, and they have to demonstrate that the reason they can't go back is because they've either suffered past persecution or they have a well-founded fear of future persecution. Persecution under our laws is a term of art. It has to be something more than mere harassment or discrimination. It has to be some type of severe harm. It also has to be done by either a government actor or a group that the government is unwilling and unable to control. And finally, the applicant for asylum has to show that the persecutor is motivated by one of the 5 protected grounds under our Immigration and Nationality Act. Those are race, religion, membership in a particular social group, nationality, or political opinion. So they also have the burden of establishing that connection between the persecution and the protected ground. So asylum is not simple. It's very difficult to obtain, and individuals seeking asylum should get competent representation.
What can AILA members do to help, and what resources are available for those wanting more information?
AILA members can help get the word out to Venezuelan nationals that it's dangerous to file for asylum if you're not qualified. You risk a frivolous finding, and you can also risk being placed in removal proceedings and being removed back to Venezuela. So that's one way AILA members can help, is getting the word out that if you apply, you should make sure you're qualified first. Additionally, AILA members should do everything in their power to educate their communities and their clients about the fact that to date there is no special type of relief that's been granted to Venezuelans, and that if Venezuelans do want to apply for asylum or some other type of benefit that's already available under our laws, that they should seek protection through through the help of a competent attorney.
Thank you, Dree, for joining us. For the rest of you, please stay tuned for more updates from the American Immigration Lawyers Association.